What is going on, everyone? It's DC3 Johnson here with another Madden NFL 21 franchise mode video, guys. So in this video, we actually are going to be in SoFi Stadium, taking on the LA Chargers. And so it should be an interesting matchup. I know a lot of people are kind of on the up with Justin Herbert. I know we usually people from that draft class they usually talk about either Joe Burrow or Tua, but I think Herbert actually is on the rise. I think he actually didn't do too bad of a job. There you see a little recap from last week. Christian Kirk had a wonderful outing. Definitely, if you didn't see that, I definitely urge you to check it out. That way you don't miss anything, and that way you can stay up to date on everything. There you see our results from Mr. Max Williams, who also had actually a really good outing the previous time around. And so interesting here. So we get midway through the field. I actually really like their logo. Like the colors and everything. Like it's actually one of the things I've always liked about the Chargers is their color scheme, especially like the blue itself. It's just very pretty to me. Definitely is one of those things. Like even though I haven't really been much of a Charger fan myself, like the only person I really would know from the Chargers is Melvin Gordon, and which I don't even know if he's still in the team, and obviously Phillip Rivers. And so the fact that I wonder how San Diego fans actually I wonder how San Diego fans are taking the whole move to LA, because I mean they were literally there for about 50 years in San Diego, so that must have been a tough loss. But obviously we already know what happened with that is that the Chargers wanted a new stadium. City of San Diego didn't want to put out the public money for it, and that pretty much was all she wrote, which is unfortunate because San Diego is such a big city, and the fact that they only now have a baseball team is it's just so weird. It's like San Jose, but granted, I think San Jose, the reason why is because it's so close to San Francisco that it just kind of, even though it is a big city itself, I think it's like about 2 million people. It like they literally probably only have the hockey team available. Well, if you want to count MLS, you can. Technically, so I guess two professional teams, technically speaking, because they got the Earthquakes technically. But anyway, that's a very interesting thing. So now I wonder how much like San Diego now supports the Padres. Which for me, like I actually like the Padres. And obviously, if for those of you that like basically watch my channel, you guys know that we have a franchise mode literally for last year's MLB 20 that dealt with the franchise mode for San Diego. So with that being said, moving on here. So Herbert definitely did a good job. Already got a touchdown on the opening drive here, and so we're trying to establish a little bit of a running game. So this time around, we try it with Christian Kirk. Not really much we could do on that occasion, unfortunately. And that's probably one of the reasons why we're like a pass first kind of team, because I don't know. I guess we just don't really. There are games where we have a good running game, but most of the time, I feel like we kind of have to find the yardage elsewhere. I don't know. Leave a comment below, because for me, like the average I can get with a running back is about 100 yards per game. I don't know if that's considered to be a good thing or a bad thing, or if it's average or below average. But yeah, we consider ourselves definitely to be a pass first kind of team. I mean, what I like is like people already know that we're notoriously known for that, and just the fact that we are able to outdo people is just interesting. And especially when we surprise them with a running play, I think not a lot of people see it coming, and so we come back here. Unfortunately, we end up getting sacked on that possession, and so that pretty much puts us back to the 41. Here comes the pressure again. This time around, oh my God, we throw it, but unfortunately ends up becoming a fumble because we literally throw it at the last second, getting tackled. And so just like that, the Chargers are right back in this. It's a 17-4, obviously pending the extra point, 17-14 ball game here. We're only about a minute into the second, so technically it's still very early, very high scoring game here at SoFi. And so we give it to Max Williams, who's going to get us to just around midfield here. And so this time, once again, Max Williams open. gets us to the 32, and we're going to go ahead and inbound it here on this. Oh, let's see, options here. Give it to Christian, I believe that should be. Oh, no, actually, Kenyon Drake. And so with Kenyon, we get to the 26-yard line. Now, see, this is what we did. Now, this time around, we did the running play. We ended up getting about 4 or 5 yards, so we do get the first down. And so there you see Christian Kirk goes all the way to the end zone, gets us the touchdown there. And so with that being said, 10 touchdowns of the season. Obviously, our receivers are having career years, and I think the thing I like is we both our primary weapons, Christian and DeAndre Hopkins, we already have them extended for a couple seasons, and we already have Kyler Murray under contract. So I think, like, obviously for us, the biggest thing would be trying to find good defensive units with the limited amount of resources that we have, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think for most franchises, they end up having like 3 or 4 elite guys, maybe like 2 or 3 veterans, and then the rest are just like mid-carders in a sense. Kind of using like a wrestling term, like mid-carders, just because of the way the salary cap works. Because obviously when you have a franchise quarterback, which in our case we have it with Kyler Murray, they end up being like a $40 million a year quarterback. So, and especially with the NFL, that it's a hard cap, like a hard cap. I think it just makes things so much more limited, especially because the rosters, like, I think it's like 53 people, so you have to figure out the salary for 53 people, as Kyler Murray ends up going in for the touchdown there. Just ends up getting the pressure just a little too late, ends up avoiding the final tackle there to get us going here. So we start from the 3, and we end up getting a pass to get us out of that end zone. We definitely don't want that safety, right? No safety here, guys. And so we get up to the 15 here with about 4.5 left. Once again, avoiding the pressure. We have to throw it out at the last second. So kudos to the Charger defense. They've actually done a pretty good job in pretty much keeping us under pressure, to be quite honest here. And so with the pass to DeAndre, he gets in the zone, and Kenyon able to actually get a good amount of yardage there. Gets just to the 39. And so once again, flags on the floor. That should be probably pass interference. Yeah, right? It should be, and it is Mr. King. So we end up getting about 15 yards into it. So now we're into the 24, and Kenyon ends up getting us into the red zone at the 19 here. And so look at this beautiful pass that we're going to go ahead and give it out to, and ooh, that was to Mr. Chase Edmonds, who's going to get us all the way to the end zone for the first received touchdown of the season for him. Now, keep in mind, last year we did use Chase Edmonds a lot because of the fact that Kenyon Drake had gotten injured a couple weeks. So he's actually been a little more quiet. Same thing with our boy, Mr. Benjamin, who we haven't been able to really use as much because of that. And so I'm trying to use these final seconds to really pull ahead here, guys. Definitely, we want to dominate. We want to dominate, and we want to get used to this. And so with the pass there to DeAndre's able to avoid the first tackle, gets a few extra yardage. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout here, and gets us all the way to the 8. And so Kyler Murray ends up rushing it into the end zone for a second rush touchdown of the half. And so we go up 45-14 at halftime. And then you see the scoreboard. Russell Wilson, 14-zip against the Rams with about 47 seconds. That's the one thing I will say. My division has been completely struggling this season. Like, it's going to be a very easy win for us to get the division win. Just because they all had really, really soft starts. It might be due to injury. It might be due to staff. And going back to that conversation we were having, is leave a comment below. I definitely want to see what you guys think, but that's kind of like the way I see it is, you can only really have 3 or 4 elite guys, maybe some prospects, and maybe you kind of have to fill the rest of your team with mid-carders, just because you can't really fill the roster. You have to fill out 53 people with a salary cap of like 200, which I know 200 million is not it's not a lot of money. But if you think about it, if you're already giving one player 30 to 40 million, it ends up adding up very, very, very quickly. especially because a lot of these teams end up having to kind of shred some salary anyway, so they have to take a couple penalties. So they don't really have the 200 million because they have to give up. They have to pay salary cap, like, even though they can't cut it like between seasons, they end up doing so many cuts that it ends up adding up, you know. But yeah, leave a comment below with what you guys think. There you see we give the pass once again to DeAndre. DeAndre's been on fire, and he's been able to break away and create spacing for himself that really makes things just so much easier for us. Look at this. We end up going probably about a good 40 to 50 yards here, just from their zone all the way to the 32. So now we're in field goal range. There you see Kyler Murray's on fire. DeAndre's on fire. We're going to try to look for him again, but this time no contact here with our receiver, so we end up rushing it into the 17-yard line. There you see Kenyon's able to advance 16 yards again, because the teams are so used to us doing a pass first kind of situation that they didn't see the run there, and so we give it to DeAndre, who is going to get a received touchdown here and ends up just pretty much extending our lead here. And so there you see Kenyon's able to get all the way to the 37-yard line. So another good 15 yards. There you see 162 yards. Great game from Kenyon Drake. As we were literally talking about getting only 100 yards there. And unfortunately this time around the gamble ends up becoming an interception here. And so not that it gives much of a difference right now. The Chargers have so much room that they have to come back from. Right now it's a 55-35 ball game. We avoid the tackle. I mean, we still end up getting tackled. That kind of should have been a personal foul, to be quite honest, because we already had made the clear attention we were going out of bounds. But yet we still end up getting tackled in the end zone in our own bench. And there you see DJ unfortunately picks up the holding call that puts us about 10 yards back. And so we have to redo the down. It's going to be an incomplete there. So it's going to be a 3 and out. And on the next possession, unfortunately, the Chargers end up intercepting. And we just lost Josh Jones. Josh Jones, no! Josh Jones. And so and we end up advancing to the 18-yard line. There you see they put the stop on us. And so it looks like they're offering us for him to return. For me, guys, I like to keep them sub out just so that way they can heal up. Granted, the one thing I will notice and will say is that I do notice that the rosters end up putting the players back anyway on the next drive, because I'm pretty sure he's probably back, Josh Jones. And so that should be a passer interference call. Very easy. That should pretty much put us within field goal range. And it does. It puts us at the 27 here. And so we're going to rush it here to the 20. And with about 23 seconds left, we're going to go ahead and give it to Christian Kirk, who's going to get just shy of the 1. It's just short of touchdown range. And with the sack there, that's pretty much going to wrap things up here. We're going to go ahead and throw it just one last try into the end zone with about 3 seconds. We're going to throw it. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. We're gonna get one last try here. One last try. Sack's coming. We're gonna throw it under pressure. It's going to be an interception to end the game. That doesn't really matter. I mean, he's gonna run it all the way back. It's gonna be a 99-yard return for them. So a good career high for the Chargers. It really won't make a difference. It won't really affect us. There you see the Seahawks end up getting the win, 21-9. We end up getting a 49-62 win. So at least we gave the SoFi Stadium fans something to talk about. There you see Chargers scored 28 in the fourth, 546 yards for us, 279 rush. So a great game for us, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, guys.